Moving to question 1.3, they ask us to convert the total mass of the fruit into kilograms. So basically, we should know how to do our conversions from gram to kg. What has been given to us is written in gram. Here, they tell us in grams. So we need to know how to do our conversions. Luckily, they give it away to us. 1 kg equals to 1000 gram, if you don't know it out of your knowledge. So basically, 394 grams divides by 1000 would give us kilograms. And you should be getting an answer of about 0.394. That should be your answer when you do your calculations. Our next question, question 1.3.2, they say the pear is removed from the kitchen scale. Write down the new reading in grams shown on the kitchen scale. So the current reading is 394. So they ask us, should we remove the pear? How much should the new reading be on the scale? So in order to determine that, we need to know what the full total is. So we know the full total is 394. Total is 394. Now they ask us to remove the pear. Luckily, they give us the mass of the pear is 128. So 394 minus 128 would give us the new reading. Question 1.3.3, they ask us to show how the mass of 202 gram for the peach was calculated. So they first give us the answer, then they ask us to prove how we got to the answer. Now we must work from what we know. So what we know is we know the total of 394. We know the mass of the pear. The mass of the pear is 128. They also tell us the mass of the plum is half the mass of the pear. So the plum equals half of the pear, which is 128 divided by 2, give us 64. So these numbers is given to us, a 394, a 128, and a 64. But they don't tell us in the question, they don't tell us the peach value. Only now at question 1.3.3, they tell us the gram is 202. But they ask us, how can we get to this answer without knowing this answer from 1.3.3? So we need to basically subtract the two, the pear and the plum. If you subtract these, then the only weight left would be the weight of the peach. So in order to do that, my answer would be 394 minus 128 minus 64. I will get an answer now. So if the full total minus the pear minus the plum, I would get my answer of the peach, and my answer should be the 202 gram if I use my calculator. Question 1.3.4. Determine the probability of randomly selecting a banana from the fruit placed on the kitchen. So let's use a basic formula of probability. So it asks me the probability selecting a banana. So the probability of selecting the banana, so the probability of a banana out of all the fruits. But now, what do you notice? There is no bananas on the table. So my probability of selecting a banana is 0. There's basically a 0 probability of selecting a banana out of all the fruits because there isn't any bananas. Now, if the question would ask me the probability of selecting a pear, then I would have answered this way. The probability of a pear equals to pear out of all the fruits. There is 1 out of 3 chances because there's only 3 fruits. There's 1 pear among 3 fruits. So the probability would have been 1 over 3. But in our actual question, there's no bananas on the table. So the probability is 0. In our next question, question 1.3.5, they ask us the simplified ratio of the total mass of fruit to the total mass of the pear. Now, what is ratio? You will usually find that it's going to be some number with relation to another number. That is our ratio. It's basically a relationship from one thing to another. Now, from what we know is the total mass of the fruit. So total mass should be in relation to the total mass of the pear. And we know total mass is 394 and the mass of the pear is given as 128. So that is our actual answer. 394 in relation to 128. That would be our ratio. But note, they ask us the simplified ratio. Now this, what we have here, is the normal ratio. We need to simplify it. Simplified means we need to get to the lowest number. Now in order to get to the lowest number, we need to determine where the smallest one of the two masses is. Which of these two is the smallest? 128. So we will take that answer, we will divide it by itself. We divide it by itself there. But we must remember the mathematical law. Whatever you do on the right hand, you must do on the left hand. Or whatever you do at the left hand, you must do at the right hand. So I can't just divide here and not divide here. So I must do exactly what I'm doing here, the other side. Because I've divided by 128, I must also divide by 128 this side. So now I will get my answer. If I divide 128 with 128, I would get 1 over something. Now once again, I will leave it to you to get the answer from your calculator. So this would be my simplified ratio. 1 to another mass. That is my simplified version. I need to get one side as 1.